everybody. Welcome to Sam's Doing Stuff. What am I doing today? Well, we're gonna find out definitively if it's better to split first and stack second, or if I've just been doing it wrong. Now, for any of you out there that are just gonna climb into the comment section and just be like, oh, well, you did it wrong, you shouldn't be stacking at all. You know, it's faster to just pile it. Yeah, I understand that. A lot of you guys out there just make big piles, and that's fine. But I deliver firewood in these bins, pre-stacked, and I charge for it, and customers pay for it. So it makes a lot of sense for me to stack my firewood. Okay, so this is my system right now. Real quick, a lot of you guys already know, I cut my rounds out in the fields, I bring them in here, I dump them out of the dump trailer into the staging area where I get huge piles of rounds. I just tractor those rounds into the barn, and believe me, working in a barn has too many advantages to list. It's fantastic. So I use the Eastonmade Axis. The rounds come right over to the Axis, lift them up with the log lift, split the rounds up the conveyor, and as you saw here, this is my sorting table, or whatever you want to call it. Keeps everything at waist height, and it's very easy to just stack right into these baskets. And the reason I stack into baskets is because I deliver fully stacked premium firewood in these baskets right to where the customers want it using a motorized pallet jack. You guys that know me know the whole story. So it's taken years to get this system to where it is. And then I told you guys the other day, Doug from One Eyed Customs comes up to me at the International Firewood Expo, and he says, Sam, I use a vertical splitter, you use a vertical splitter. And he gave me the scenario of, when you take the dishes out of the dishwasher, do you put them on the counter first and then put them into the drawers? No, you put it directly, you take that right out and you bring it over and you put it directly into the drawers. So why are you sending the firewood up the conveyor and then stacking it second? Well, I can give you some reasons. Reason number one is, in my process and the way I do things, I feel like I am more efficient to do one step at a time. So while I am splitting, I feel like I should concentrate on splitting and not think about stacking for two reasons. One, like I say, the way my mind works, I like to just concentrate on what I'm doing. I feel like it's safer. I can really think about just splitting the rounds. And when I concentrate on stacking, then I'm concentrating on stacking. That's just my own mind. You might be different. You might be able to multitask better than I can. Secondly, I feel like the machine needs to be operating while it's running. If I'm feeding gas through it and I need to be pushing this pedal as fast as I possibly can to keep making splits, to make it as efficient as possible for running this machine. When I'm turning and stacking, obviously, I'm not splitting. So I don't know how much time that would take to be stacking while I'm splitting, if it would take that much time away from pressing that pedal, but we're gonna find out. Another big part of stacking for me is the way it makes me feel, okay? Now, facts don't care about your feelings, but in everybody's firewood process, the way you like to do things is very important. It keeps you going. It makes you look forward to it. So I like the zen feeling of stacking the wood. No machines are running. It's just right here and just putting the pieces in the basket. It's like a break. It's like taking a break for me. It feeds my OCD. I don't know. If you know, you know. That's just the way it is. So let's put all of that aside and let's do a time trial and let's see if Doug is right. If it's going to be, first off, way more efficient to just stack as you split. So how am I going to do this and make sure I stay fair? Well, first of all, I'm just going to split at a leisurely pace. I'm going to make sure I'm you know, rested and 100%. And then when I start splitting, I'm gonna split, not trying to rush myself or anything, just do it the way I normally do it so it's safe and it's consistent. I am going to do the splitting first and then stacking second. The reason I'm gonna do that is that's gonna give me my baseline for an amount, how much I get done in a certain amount of time. I'm gonna set a timer for 10 minutes and I'm going to start that timer with the first split. So I will split for 10 minutes and however much firewood I can make in 10 minutes will go onto the sorting table. Then I will stack it and I will add those 2 times together, 10 minutes plus whatever it takes to stack it. That'll be my litmus test. That'll be my baseline. That's what we're gonna work from. Then, after we have our baseline, we'll take that time, so it'll be 10 minutes plus however long it takes me to stack what I split, and I'll take that full amount of time and I will split, but I will not be running the conveyor. I'll be stacking it into a tote while I'm splitting. And I will take that full amount of time, the 10 minutes plus whatever it took me to stack, and I will split and stack for that amount of time. Then we will compare the 2 amounts of wood. Did I get more wood in the basket by splitting and stacking at the same time? Or did I have more or equal from splitting and then stacking after? You see what I'm saying? I think that's the fairest way to do this. I'm gonna bring a bunch of rounds in here, we'll get it all set up, and we'll get it started. We're gonna fast forward it so you don't have to watch the full, Anyway, let me get it set up. Just a quick interlude here. I've got a low tire on the tractor, and I don't know if you guys have seen before, but SEESII, here's the company right here, SEESII Power Tools. Yeah, they send me some tools every once in a while to review, and they're decent tools at a very affordable price. So they sent me this thing. It's a vacuum, but it's also a tire inflator. So you gotta screw this on the top first if you wanna inflate a tire. And I'm not a huge fan of that because it doesn't fit in the case with the hose attached. Yeah, you turn it on and then you can just set it to whatever pressure you want. It's just like any other air compressor. Stick it on there. And then I think you just, oh, there it goes. Just hit the power button, turns it on. All right, it inflated it to 25 pounds, as it should. I'm not a big fan of multi-tools, so I might be a little bit biased here. But if you pull the trigger, it's a vacuum. I don't know. If you think that's useful, I'll leave a discount code and a link in the description. Anyway, let's bring in some rounds. Okay, rounds are staged. They're all big rounds because they just roll right onto the log lift very easily, so that takes out any, delay that it might be of loading the log lift. They're also all about the same size, and they're all red oak. They're all the same species, so I'm not gonna be doing one time trial with red oak and then another time trial with elm. You know what I mean? Let's try and keep it fair. Also, 2 brand new empty baskets, so we can measure accurately. That's the word. We want to do it accurately. Let's get started. I got my 10-minute timer set up and ready to go. I'm going to start the machine, let it warm up, and like I say, I'm going to start that timer right before the very first split. Now, I'm going to start a stopwatch as soon as I start stacking, and this will tell us how much time we're going to add on to the next time trial. Ready, set, go. Stop. I don't have the exact time down to the second. I'm gonna have to go up to the house and look at the footage. A little more than half a basket, but it's close to a half a basket. So next thing we're gonna do is we'll give that time to the next time trial. So it'll be 10 minutes plus whatever time it took to stack this, and that will be the time to beat, and we'll see how much wood I can split and stack at the same time if I'm splitting and stacking at the same time. I'm gonna take a break, make sure I'm fresh, and then we'll start the next one. Okay, I'm set and ready to go. I took a nice break, I got a snack, I even floated in the pool for a little while. I feel really good, so this will be equal, even Steven. I set the basket up right here on the forks. I am not in any danger, the hydraulic, I'm not underneath it. My toes aren't even underneath it, just so you know. Anyway, so I can split and I can turn and I can put them into the basket just as ergonomically as possible, I suppose. Yeah, same exact rules. I will start my countdown timer, 16 minutes. I checked it, 16 minutes is the time to beat. So I will set my timer for 16 minutes. As soon as that time runs out, we'll see how much I've stacked in this basket, compared it to the other one, and we'll know. Let's go. I am surprised, to say the very least. Doug, I know you're watching. Are you surprised? I split more and stacked more in 16 minutes than I did splitting and stacking at the same time. Let me say that again. I split and stacked more in 16 minutes, splitting first, then stacking, than I did splitting and stacking at the same time. I think it's entirely because of the speed of the Axis. You know, I know Doug's using a different brand, maybe just no bashing or anything. It might be just a little bit slower. I know when I used my old county line, now that's an extremely slow machine. It made a lot of sense to stack while you're splitting because the return time on that was almost 10 seconds. So you had a lot of time to, you know, comb your hair, brush your teeth, whatever you wanted to do while that thing was getting back to where it needed to be. So the point is, though, that this Axis sitting and waiting for me to stack is wasting enough time that it does not make sense to stack while you're splitting. It makes way more sense to just get them going up that conveyor and out of the way as quickly as possible and then stack second. Proves it 1,000% to me. I was completely unbiased. I wanted to try both as equally as I could. I really wanted to give both sets as much of a chance as I could. In front here, I've got the chaff. This is like the crap that came off that I wouldn't put in a basket. And it's about equal. Yeah, little less over here. Actually, that makes sense. There's a little less over here because there's less wood in the basket. It's proof. It's 100% proof. All right, let's go ahead and fill these baskets the rest of the way. Well, there it is. That, ladies and gentlemen, is my last basket. Yeah. So what am I gonna do now? Well, I'm not gonna stop making firewood. No, sir, I'm not. And I don't know if you can tell back there by what that pile looks like, but there's another pile behind you, and then there's another pile up the hill. The tree service has been busy, really busy with all the storms that came through. I probably have, and I'm just throwing out a number here, I think around 200 cords of raw logs right now. So yeah, I'm not gonna stop making firewood, especially now that I know that it's a lot faster to just keep splitting and then do what you need to do after. So I'm probably going to incorporate the dump trailer again. I've got a couple of things I might wanna do. Number one, sell in bulk pre-season. So before the winter starts, I've got a lot of stuff that's actually dry enough that it's ready to burn right now. Most of those rounds that are in the staging area are 100% dry and they are ready to burn. As I split them, they're bone dry. So I'm gonna offer people, especially one client, she has a limited budget and I can save her some money by doing this. So I already talked to her. She's definitely gonna get a load. And then anybody else that wants to save a few dollars, I'll sell the trailer load because it'll go directly into the trailer and then directly to the client. After that, when I get into the stuff that isn't ready to be sold, that staging area should be cleaned out by then, and I will start dumping splits into that staging area and just create a big old mountain of firewood. Because once the baskets start coming back in, and I might even get a few more new baskets, but I'm not gonna run out and spend $700 on a trailer load of new baskets. No, I've got plenty right here. So what's gonna happen is as those baskets come in empty, I'll have a pile of firewood just sitting there waiting, and either myself or Scott can stack them up and we'll have another basket ready to go, and we'll just keep doing that, keep rotating it that way. But definitely bulk storage, bulk pile. I've been thinking about those bags. The only thing about the bags that I don't like is they only last about 3 years and they start falling apart. I don't know, might as well just pile it, and then once these baskets come back in, refill them and resell them and, you know, just do that thing. I hope you guys really like this video. I know that I got a lot out of it. I certainly did. I know, Doug, I'm sure you got something out of it. I appreciate the challenge and it was really good. I I didn't expect anything. Actually, if I'm 100% hand of God honest, I expected the as I stack, or stack as I split, was going to create more, that was going to win. And then I was going to have to come up with an argument as to why I didn't want to do that. But stacking afterward was faster. So like I said, I hope you guys appreciate that. Do these little time trials so everybody can learn something. And you never know what I'm going to do next. Probably next time I'll be splitting into the dump trailer. I've got other things that I'm really working on. I'm so excited about this whole solar thing that I think I want to create a backup system for my house, honestly. Of course, all the codes and everything and all of the electrical codes have to be met for that. If I burn my barn down, yeah, that would really suck. But I don't live in my barn, and you know, things can be replaced. So, but I still want to be safe no matter what I'm doing. But with the house, of course, you know, we sleep there. So that has to be perfect. So anyway, that's just another thing that's happening. Just letting you know what's coming up. If you got anything you'd like to add, or if you think you got a faster way, I don't know, just split it, stack it, sell it. I'll see you next time I'm doing more stuff.